Welcome to today's session. Today we're going to talk about how to do event-based automation across your Azure and your hybrid environments using PowerShell and Azure Functions. My name's Eamon O'Reilly. I'm a Principal Program Manager working inside of the Azure Functions team. So when we think about event-based automation, you kind of want to think about, what are the steps involved in actually deploying your infrastructure, deploying your application, and then managing that afterwards. And so I think most of us, if we actually looked around this kind of wheel, we're probably involved in at least one, if not multiple parts of the life cycle of the infrastructure we're deploying on or the application that's deploying on top of that. And so you're doing deployments, you're doing the monitoring, the security, you're responsible for maybe disaster recovery or backup, security. All of these play a role when you're deploying the application, but also play a role in the infrastructure. How do those two things come together and basically introduce a new model where you can start to think about, as events happen across your environment, how can I actually bring that knowledge into the system and to react to that in an automatic way? And so that's what we're going to cover today, is almost a new way of thinking about how do I automate and integrate my systems using Azure Functions as a serverless automation platform inside of Azure. And the nice thing about that, it doesn't just work against your Azure resources and your Azure applications, but it can reach back into your on-premises environments as well. So you kind of get this unified automation platform for doing events across both your Azure and your on-premises environments. So hopefully most of you are involved in some, if not all, of these type of scenarios. And so you'll get something out of today's session about, what do I do today that I might be able to move into a serverless automation capability? And so what are some of these kind of common scenarios that we end up doing using event-based automation? And so it usually breaks it down to kind of two major parts you're involved in when you're managing application. What do I do to make sure that I set up my infrastructure and application correctly when I do my deployment and my configuration? And then after things are deployed and running, how do I make sure I operate that infrastructure and those applications in a unified way? So those are the two main capabilities you have to do. And I often think about this, I don't know about you guys, but I watch a lot of car shows, and I often wonder, how are they so good at actually fixing the car, diagnosing the problem, and actually getting it fixed and back up again? And it really comes down to two things, I think, when I look at all these car shows. One is, they know how to identify the problem, and that's kind of why we're all here, is to learn. What are the common challenges customers are having? How do we actually go and fix those using some new capabilities around? And then the second thing they always seem to have is the right tool for the right job. And I think that actually is the secret. I don't know about you, but I have like a hammer and I have some screwdrivers and maybe a socket wrench, and that's all I have. And so that's what I try to use for everything. So if I have a skill, I try to use that for everything I do. And when I look back and I see really what the professionals start to do is they think about, what do I have inside my toolbox, and then how do I apply that in the right way when I'm trying to do the right job? And that's where they gain the efficiencies, that's where the productivity kicks in, and that's where you see the quality at the end. And so that's how I look about a lot of the things we're doing, is how do we become those expert mechanics ourselves when we're trying to manage the application, manage the infrastructure. And so there's a lot of services inside of Azure to help you do that, from like Azure Policy to maybe Blueprints, Azure DevOps, Logic Apps, Event Grid, and one of the newest capabilities we're offering now is Functions, and the ability to do event-based automation on top of those other services and seamlessly integrate them. So that's what we're going to talk about today, but really think about, I need to be somewhat of an expert in all of these core automation capabilities, and then life is going to become so much easier for me, and my quality is going to improve a lot. So these are some of the common scenarios, and there's a lot more I'm sure you guys are doing as you go through your own jobs. But to start off, the first thing I want to do, as you may have heard, is we announced support for PowerShell inside of Azure Functions. So that's pretty cool. Anybody can be a PowerPoint master, or if you like that graphics, took hours. So hopefully you'll appreciate that as well. So this is really what the main talk about today is. We brought PowerShell into Functions, so what are some of those capabilities you can do now using event-based automation? But the first thing we wanted to do was, let's make sure when we bring PowerShell into the platform, that we bring it in a way that's familiar to people who are using PowerShell. How are they doing it today? What does the language look like? How does that map to the way Functions works inside a serverless environment? and try to bring all that native capabilities PowerShell has and make it first class throughout the Azure Functions platform. And that's what we've been doing over the last few months, and this week we announced GA of PowerShell. So a few things to think about. First is, we're using the latest and greatest of PowerShell. PowerShell Core 6.2.3 is what we're running inside of our platform, and as 7 comes out next year, well, then we'll start to adopt 7. The second thing that we bring in is a profile.ps1. So people who are familiar with profiles, oftentimes common code, common instructions you want to run before your script happens is available now through a profile.ps1. So it allows you to kind of put common things into that file and then run it. The third thing is we've integrated all of the common write information, write warning, write log, write output, all of the streams, write verbose, and map those into corresponding applications insights logging constructs. And so this now gives you the full application insights, logging and debugging, but you're using PowerShell in the native way you normally would. The other thing I mentioned was hybrid. So one of the really nice things about running inside of Azure Functions and building on the app service platform in Azure is they have nice features like VNet integration, but also you can do hybrid connections where you can reach back into your on-premises and execute your code against that. The last couple I'll mention here is managed identity. So if you're not familiar with managed identity, one of those things we've added into Azure in a lot of different spaces, but we first classed into Azure Functions was the ability to assign an identity to the function app when it runs. And the nice thing about this is now that function app has an identity that you can grant it access to resources. So if this thing has to have access to your virtual machines when they deploy, you can grant this function app access to those resources, and then it runs under that identity, and it can act against any resources in any subscription across any resource group that you need it to. And that's natively built in. And the last thing is bindings and triggers. So if you're familiar with Azure Functions, we have these concepts of triggers and bindings, and they're really powerful because they allow you to basically say, I want to get triggered maybe by a HTTP trigger, a timer trigger. I want to get when a queue gets, a message drops in a queue. Tell me about that because I want to process that and do some work. But all of that triggers and bindings where you want to send data back to those systems is taken care of using the Azure Functions platform. So you're just writing that core PowerShell business logic, and all of these surroundings integrations to the platforms are basically done just through configuration. The last thing I'll mention really quick is one of the biggest challenges I think a lot of us have is trying to keep our systems up to date with the latest dependencies. So one of the things we've added was our ability to specify which modules you want to have available when your function runs, and we will automatically take care of bringing those down for you automatically from the PowerShell gallery. And the beauty of this is you just specify them in a requirements.psd1 file, and then we will parse that at runtime and make sure they stay down. So any module on the PowerShell gallery, we will go get and make available. But beyond that, we've added the ability for you to basically use semantic versioning. So instead of saying, I want like the SQL Server module and 2.5.4.6, which you can do, you can actually say, I want 2 asterisks of the SQL version, SQL module. And then what we will do, we will actually see that you said, keep this up to date, because there's probably critical security updates that are getting released every couple of weeks. And I need to make sure my platform always has those, so I'm in compliance with the rest of my organizational standards. You can specify that, and inside the service, we will take care of updating those modules in a safe way, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. So that kind of gives you that extra power that isn't available in any other platform. Okay, so with that, let me jump over and try to show you a little bit of this code, so you kind of know how to get started. Let's see if I can connect. Okay, so if you're not familiar with functions, basically you can create function triggers inside of the portal. I'll zoom in here in a second so you can see a little better. But if you're not familiar, this is standard PowerShell. So nothing particularly fancy about this. It's just all the PowerShell you're familiar with, you can now start to bring inside of the service and use it any way you would like to. So this one does a very simple task, but it's a very common task we see people doing, which is it will scan your environment looking for dev or test machines that have a tag on them that says these should be shut off at night and turned back on in the morning. So this can save you, 50% of your costs across your virtual machines, but maybe you're doing it for SQL servers and others. And so within 5 or 10 lines of scripts, you can run this every single hour looking for machines that actually meet the criteria you have and shut those down. So I'll just run this. So you can see the logging is coming out here. Let me zoom in. Just finished. That's how fast it is. So it ran the whole script there, scanned the environment, and it outputted some of the data I did. So if you can see here, so what it did is it looked at all my environment, because I assigned that managed identity access to my subscription. So now it looked at all my virtual machines and anything that has this tag of auto shutdown startup. It said, okay, there's a tag for auto shutdown startup. Should I start it now? So it looks at the start time and the stop time. I have 2 of these running on a scheduled task. And if it meets that criteria, it's going to go ahead and shut those down or start them up. So within a few lines of code, you have things running inside of your platform, taking advantage of all the knowledge you have inside of PowerShell. But one of the benefits of this is you can also do it locally in your environment. So I have VS Code here. You can see this is where I'm using the identity if it's available. I'm enabling tracing and managed dependencies inside of my environment. But if I want to, I can just create a new function. Maybe I want to expose this as an API using HTTP triggers. So, maybe I'll just do stop my VMs on tag. How do I want to authenticate against this? And there, I'm done. I can then copy my code here. Replace the ones here. And now I have it running locally. So the nice thing about this is you can do all of your local development inside of VS Code, gaining all the power of IntelliSense, debugging, everything you would normally do. I can just hit F5. And it's going to run the function host the exact same way we run it inside of the service. You now can run it inside your own environment, attach the debugger, get all of the rich information about it. Everything's available right here. So you can see it spun up everything, and I can just call this to actually test it. So if I open up a PowerShell window, you can see I'm going to just do an invoke REST method against that API, all running locally, so I can test it. And if I zoom back over here, you can see it's in the debugger. I'll hit F5. The exact same information I just showed before is now starting to run my local machine, so I can do full debugging, full development. Once I have everything I want working, push that into the cloud. I no longer have to worry about hosting it. Do I have the right version? Did the machine turn off? Everything you might have done locally using PowerShell and events, you can now fully develop, integrate into DevOps, push directly to the platform. We take care of the rest automatically for you. And the last thing you'll see is that requirements file. I'm just saying I want all the latest Azure modules available to me and keep it up to date. But I could specify any other modules I needed, like the Office Online, maybe you're working against Azure AD, whatever module, SQL Server, you can just specify them, and those are also going to be available to you in the service and potentially managed if you want to. Okay, so I'm going to do one last thing in the demo. So I mentioned hybrid before. So one of the things you can do is you can either set up a VNet into your function apps you might be familiar with, but I've actually set up a hybrid connection. And what it allows me to do is to reach back into my on-premises environment and perform actions inside of there. So this is a very simple one, but what I'm using is I'm just using standard Windows remoting from my instance in Azure, reaching back into my virtual machine that's not in Azure or potentially in Azure, using our service bus relay in the back end that seamlessly does it for you. So it already ran, and I've stopped my spooler service. So you can see I've passed in the computer I want to run against, the service I want to affect, and it just went ahead and stopped it. And this is just using standard WinRM commands. Everything you would normally do, you can see it's just doing an invoke command against that machine, specifies the default 5986, uses SSL, passes the script I want to run and the arguments, and I'm done. So you can manage everything from this service in Azure. And if you want to learn how to do that, there's good documentation in the functions, but generally you just go into platform, click on networking, and it's going to be available for you. And just kind of walk you through it. I'll show you it real quick. The documentation is pretty good on this, but the main thing to understand is we're basically just using the standard winner import and connecting through it. So you just set up your machine, you specify the port you want the machine, then you install the agent into your own local environment. It reaches back and every time up through 443, so no inbound ports, and everything gets done automatically for you. Okay. So that's kind of what have we really learned inside of automation in functions. I know this is a 20-minute session. I have another session with Ziv tomorrow where we go deeper into all of these capabilities, talk about all the different scenarios. But I really, the takeaway I would have is think about what are some of the scenarios you're doing today, either as an application developer or as an operations person that's supporting the Azure environment, your on-premises environment, and what tool set do I have? You know, just like that mechanic has a ton of tools to do the right job, you want to make sure you understand the right services to do the right job. So don't try to use PowerShell for everything. We have good capabilities in here like logic apps to connect to other services, event grid, policy, understand the service for the right job. You're going to write a lot less code and you're going to let the services take care of doing a lot more work. And so that's how I would think about it, no matter if you're doing deployment, response, or orchestration. The whole set of services in Azure, and Functions is the newest one that really opens up the ability to do all event-based automation across your entire environment in Azure and on-premises. So with that, I'll stop, and I just want to thank everyone for coming. Hopefully you learned a lot today. You can get started. There's really good tutorials out there using VS Code with PowerShell and Functions. Thanks, everyone.